Hey y'all, welcome back to our very bookish channel. My name is Amanda. I run the channel with my friend Jen, and in this video we are going to be reading our August Secret TBR pick. Jen and I had so much fun coming up with this video idea and selecting our books. And if you missed our August TBR video, I will explain to you what's going on, don't worry. But if you want to go back and watch it, I will link it in the description below. So Jen and I wanted to pick each other's books for our Secret TBR video. And we've been trying to read down our physical TBR this year because we both have been buying books. We have been requesting ARCs on NetGalley and Edelweiss, and we've been getting physical ARCs in the mail, and we just have so much to read. And we have been distracted from tackling that physical TBR goal. So we wanted to pick each other's books off of our physical TBRs. So what we did was I sent Jen pictures of all of my TBR books, and Jen sent me a list of her TBR books. I picked 3 books for her off of her list. I wrote each of them in these envelopes on a post-it note. Then I sent her a picture and said, pick envelope 1, 2, or 3. She picked book 3. So the book that Jen is going to be reading in this video is going to be The Vacation by John Mars. Now I know you guys are so curious and wanting to know so bad, what were Jen's other options? What other books did she not select? So we just thought we would reveal the books in the other envelopes to satisfy your curiosity. The first book that I had selected for Jen was Look in the Mirror by Catherine Stedman. The second envelope book that I picked for Jen is It Ends With Us by Colleen.
It is secret vlog time. If you watched our August TBR, you know that me and Amanda were stupid excited to do this because we chose each other's books for this, gave each other titles that we wanted to read that's been on our TBR for a while. And then we randomly picked 3 of those, put them in envelopes, and then numbered it 1 to 3. I feel like we made it really, really complicated. And Amanda may have already explained this in her portion of the video. Long story short, here is me telling Amanda what she gets to read after she made the choice. And I think I'm more excited for her to read hers than I am actually to read mine. But here is my video telling her which one that she got. This is the part that I'm gonna reveal the book to Amanda. So this part is going to be in the secret vlog where you get to see what book I have in this envelope for Amanda to read. And I feel like this is like the Academy Awards for books. I do feel like this is really funny that we are super excited about this. And it's the one that I wanted you to choose. So it's a Fate Inked in Blood, and I do have it too. And I didn't include it on my list because there's just so many to choose from that I know we originally wanted to do one together for this, and then time just passed. I know she really wanted to read it. She had it in like 2 TBRs. So Amanda, you get to read this because I'm telling you to. It is the winner. This is the secret vlog book that you get to read. Have fun. So I was super excited for her because we were supposed to do a vlog with that book, and it's a gorgeous book. I have it too. I didn't add it on my list. It would have been funny if I had, and then we both ended up choosing it. It'd be like fate. But I don't think I want to read it as badly as she does. I do still want to read it, but I think she put it in 2 TBRs, and I was feeling very badly she didn't get a chance to read it. And I am going to go ahead and hers was number 1, which we already revealed. And I'm going to show you guys what else I had picked for her and put in an envelope. Envelope 2, sealed this one down, which is really funny because I just saw someone praising this book on one of the Facebook groups that I frequent, but Book of Doors by Gareth Brown. She still hasn't read this one to my knowledge, and I really want to read this one too. I'm pretty sure I have it as well. So that was her book number 2 that she didn't get this round. And then, envelope 2. And then envelope 3, I guess it could have been book 2, book 3. This one is, and I know she's really wanted, pretty sure she bought, because it's one of those sprayed edges books, but The Wren and the Holly Library by K.A. Lindy, I think is how you pronounce it. Lindy. So those were the ones she didn't get, but I know the Fate Inked in Blood that she did get. I'm sure she's super excited. I'm pretty sure she is going to read that even before the Frida vlog books that we have. So I think she is just well on her way of reading that one because she really wanted to read it.
I have been wanting to read this book really badly since it came out. It's about a shield maiden that has a drop of God's blood in her. I don't know what that means. I don't know what powers that means, but it's up to her to sort of save her people, I think. So don't know much about the books. Y'all know I go into my books blind, but really excited about reading this one because, you know, I love fantasy. That is my number one go-to genre, and also love stories about the Vikings and especially the shield maidens because they're just such strong women characters and they always defy the odds. I mean, that's what you guys love in hero books. Like, the heroes always defy the odds and win out at the end. So very excited to dive into this one.
Have John Mars' The Vacation, and I did read one John Mars, and I'm forgetting the name of that one, but I didn't really like it, but because of the subject material. It was because he is very fast-paced, short chapters, very plot twisty, very Frida McFadden. If you watch the one where I had read his other one, and I'm trying to remember what vlog that was in. If I find it, I'll just put it like on the screen. There was a rumor, and I don't know how much, if people were just making fun, that Frida McFadden and John Mars are the same person. Because I don't know how much you guys know, but Frida McFadden, that's not her real name. And I'm pretty sure she wears a wig. I was talking to, I think, Hannah or Amanda about the fact that I'm pretty sure she wears a wig and she just wants to keep her identity and her life secret because she doesn't want it to get crazy. I can't blame her or fault her for that. Plus, she works in the medical field, and I don't know how that would go. If anyone would actually find out it was her. Her popularity has grown so much that it could get out of control. It could end up a plot line for one of her books, actually. So I can't blame her or fault her for wanting to keep her identity secret. But because of that, a lot of her fans know that because of her group, she talks about keeping her private life private. And someone had made the joke, and she will talk about the fact that her and John Mars, because he's on Facebook too, they will talk about the fact that they are one person. And I don't really believe that. I mean, I think they are two separate people. And I don't know if that's his real name either. But the subject material of the one that I did read that I'm failing to remember the title, I didn't like it because it's about killing children. And I thought there'd be some plot twist where, you know, maybe the children end up alive or something, and maybe this is too much spoiler. But that wasn't it. And it was just kind of crazy. And I know a lot of murder plots and thriller books are about, you know, obviously murder and killing people. But my line, like, I just had a bad feeling in my stomach when it's little, small, helpless children. I mean, sometimes they can be evil, and they're part of plot twists where, you know, that's Damien Omen Child is one, and, you know, I think Stephen King has some evil kids in his books. But this book was no innocent children being murdered for the sake of the book and plot. So I wasn't a big fan. I did want to give him another chance. I had bought this back in February because I was going on vacation to Florida. I was really excited about getting airplane, airport reading time. I wasn't gonna have a lot of time when I was actually in Florida, but I wanted to be able to read. And I didn't end up reading it on that trip because I did the overeager bringing like 4 books on vacation, and I think I read one. Ended up with this one needing to be read, and I chose it for the secret vlog. So I am going to dig on in and see what the vacation is all about and give John Mars another chance. Let's hope that he isn't killing children in this one. I don't think so. The plot line for this one is about backpackers that are trying to escape things in their past, and they all meet up in Venice Beach, California at this hostel. Hopefully no kids end up in this one, but I will be back with some thoughts.
So first things first, I have to take the dust jacket off of this book. I love how pretty the hardcover books and the dust jackets can be, especially with the sprayed edges, but they're just so awkward, and I'm just worry so much about ruining the dust jacket while I'm reading it, and it kind of gets in the way, so gotta take that off. Time today. Of course, I'm on vacation while reading the vacation, as I already joked. Anyway, I am going to go to Half Price Books, and I haven't done any recording there or gone there for any of our vlogs before, and I've actually haven't been there in a really long time, and I thought, why haven't I? They're cheaper, and you never know what you're gonna find because there's used books. I might find some Frida McFadden ones I haven't gotten to yet. So I'm gonna take you guys along with me and show you what is at my Half Price Books. Time to show you what I got. I did not go to Dollar Book Swap. Maybe in the future at some point would be a potential that I might go and see what they have. But I did get several at Half Price Books. I got 7 books, which ain't too shabby. I know I already have so many that I need to read, but you know how it feels to go to a bookstore and not buy things. And one of the strange things, I did look for Frida, and they had 0 used books for Frida. And I asked someone, because I thought maybe I'm not looking in the right place, because some people, I know Second and Charles puts her in horror, and some people put her in thrillers, and some, I thought it's a potential that she might get put in fiction, depending, I don't know. And people that don't know her books. When I asked the woman, she said that her books go very, very fast, and she's not surprised there's none on the shelf, but she double checked me, and she said she's usually in thrillers, and there were 0, so that was a little bit disappointing. I didn't get anything I was super excited about. I think I was really hoping to get the few Fridas that I don't have,
but alas, I didn't get that. Here are the ones that I did get. So of the Jodi Picoult ones that I haven't read, Plain Truth is one of them. I'm wanting to catch up and read all the Jodi books. So I did find this one and grabbed this one. I haven't read Wicked yet, and I really want to read Wicked by Gregory Maguire, but they did have Mirror Mirror, which is the Snow White tale. And I like how there's like a picture inside that little window. They're not published like this anymore, and I really like this publisher's editions of all his books, so I grabbed that one. I think you guys know if you watch our channel that I really like Sally Hepworth, and there's only a couple I haven't read by her, and they had one that I didn't read, The Mother-in-Law, so I grabbed that one. This one I went over, I think, on one of the most anticipated, maybe. It looks so familiar, but the cover alone made me really jumped out at me that it looked really good. So I grabbed this one. It's about sisters that are estranged after their parents' murder, and they end up having to come back together, and you obviously find out secrets. It's one of those thriller plot lines that'll never go away. This one caught my eye because of obviously the cover. There's been a buzz about this one, and there's a comment on the back that compares it to a Hitchcock type ending with a plot twist, and it's about a mountain lion that lives below the Hollywood sign, and it just sounds very different, so I grabbed that one because it was there. I think this is the only Taylor Jenkins read I haven't read yet. This character, Carrie Soto, was actually in Malibu Rising as well, but I really love her books, and since this is the last one and I don't own it, I thought I would grab it. And I read Rachel Hawkins at the beginning of the year. We had done, I think, a green themed secret vlog, and I want to read more by her, and I saw this one. It was on one of those like end caps, so I grabbed that one too. Not a bad haul, a bunch of books I can add to my bookshelves. I'm going to read more of The Vacation. I did read some today, and I'm struggling a little bit. When they said there were 8 characters in this, I wasn't really thinking, but sometimes it's very hard to keep up when there are that many characters. Keep reminding myself of who is who and what's going on, and it keeps jumping back and forth in time. So I am struggling a little bit. Hopefully it'll get better. I'm gonna give it some more time. I'm about 100 pages in. So I will be back with an update.
Hey y'all, I am getting ready to run some errands. I've got my purse here and I'm about to run out the door, but I was grabbing my book to bring with me just in case, you know, there's opportunities to read while I'm out. And I decided just to grab the camera and do a quick update for y'all. I read a little bit more last night. I'm currently on chapter 17, and this book is so much fun. It's going by so fast. I am reading it so quickly. I'm just so immersed in the story, and I'm really having a good time so far. I don't really want to update you too much on the story because I don't want to spoil anything if you haven't read it yet, but there's just a lot of action scenes. There is a scene inside a cave where Fiora and Bjorn have to fight some creatures, so that was really cool and fun to read about. It kind of reminded me of Lord of the Rings, where they have to go into the mountain and they try to fight those like ghosts that you can't really kill with a mortal weapon. It reminded me a little bit of that scene. So hopefully that's something that gets you guys interested in the book, because I think that if you like fantasy, you will like this book. I have heard mixed reviews. I haven't read any reviews on Goodreads, but just with live chats that I've participated in with some reading sprints and things on other channels, people have said that they liked the book, and some people have said they hated the book. And I know a lot can change with the book. I'm about halfway through, I guess, like not quite halfway, maybe like, I don't know, 40% maybe, I don't know. But anyways, I'm almost halfway in the book and I'm just really, really liking it. So it just got me curious why people have said they don't like the book. So maybe once I finish the book, I will read some of the reviews that were 1 and 2 stars to maybe get an idea of why someone didn't like it. Because right now, I can't see why anyone would not like this book. I just think that it has everything that readers look for. at least everything that I, as a reader, look for in a book, and I'm enjoying it so far.
So I have an update. I got to part 2, which is called Departures, and I'm still struggling a little bit trying to follow all of the characters in this, and it's making me think of movies that I saw in like the late 90s, early 2000s, where it has those huge ensemble casts with all these intersecting storylines. One of them is Crash, and it had Matt Dillon, I think, in it. Sandra Bullock was in that. There were a bunch of people in that one. I can put it on the screen. And then the other one was director Paul Thomas Anderson, and that one was called Magnolia. That one was really interesting. It had a lot of different stories, and they kind of interconnect, and it had a very strange ending to that one. If you guys never saw that one, it was a very interesting ending to that one. Tom Cruise was in that one. There's a bunch of people in that one, but it's reminding me of those where there's all these storylines that you're trying to, I feel like it's easier in a movie though than in a book. And some of the storylines I have gotten a little more engrossed in. There's one about Ruth who, she's obsessed with this one's actor celebrity, and she got an email where it sounded like she won a lunch with him. So she flies from Australia to LA she's at this hostel in Venice Beach, California, and she ends up kind of stalking him. And I don't know where that one's gonna go. I feel like it's leading up to something. And then there are 2 friends, Nicole and Eric, and Nicole is trying to find like an inheritance from a woman that she had been helping who had battled cancer and passed away and wanted her ashes strewn. They're from England, and the older woman wanted her ashes at the end of Route 66. So Nicole was trying to also find a fortune, but there was a big twist that just happened with that storyline. And that's what I'm in the middle of, her having figured something out. What is she going to do about it? And I wouldn't ruin that. So those are the storylines I find very interesting. The other ones, I'm just kind of like, so far, but we'll see. I might give another update, but I am getting close to the end. So I might just do last thoughts. We'll see what happens. If there's anything crazy, I will definitely pop on and give a comment.
A few moments later.
Something just escalated really bad, and I wanted to know what was going to happen with Ruth and the celebrity that she's been stalking, but my mouth kind of literally went like whenever I read it. I was like, what?
All right, y'all, I have finished A Fate Inked in Blood, and I really liked this book. I found the story very intriguing and interesting and fast-paced. I found the romance to be very believable. It wasn't like insta-love or anything, even though obviously these 2 characters kind of had attraction to each other from the beginning. It wasn't just like insta-love. They're just gonna do anything for each other right away. I like the way that Bjorn was like protective over Feyre, and I like the way that the characters progress together through the book. And again, like I said, I like the story. I just found it to be a very good story, a very good tell, very well written. When I got to the end of this book, there wasn't very much left. There was just literally a few pages, and I was thinking, wow, this is ending pretty great. How is there going to be a sequel? Like, when there are series or sequels to books that something at the end is going to happen, there's going to be some kind of twist or cliffhanger or something left open that needs to be solved. So when I was reading this book, I was at the end and I was thinking like, well, this is ending pretty good. What the heck is going to happen? And then the end happened and I was like, oh, okay. So that's how they're going to do me at the end of this book. I get it. But I am anticipating the second book coming out. I will be continuing the series. The second book cover has been released. I will put a picture of it up here. And it does have sprayed red edges. Like these are the blue sprayed edges. It is a red cover. It'll have sprayed red edges. So really excited for that coming out. Okay, so overall for me, fantastic book. I can't wait for the next book to come out. It is coming out next year. I don't know the exact date. Hold on, let me look it up. Okay, so according to Goodreads, A Curse Carved in Bone is going to be coming out on May 13th of 2025. So if you all have read the first book and loved it, make sure you put that date on your calendar. And if this is a book you're interested in, you probably want to try to read it before the second book comes out so you can immediately go out and get the second book if you like it.
All right, some final thoughts on John Marr's The Vacation. I wouldn't say that I loved this book. I felt like it was just okay. I definitely got more into it middle towards the end, and there were a couple storylines that did hold my interest, but there were so many characters, and the ones that I wasn't really interested in, I felt like I had to push myself through. There just seemed to be a lot of side stories, and not all of them intersect, or the only reason why you know them is because some of them stay at the hostel that they're all staying at. I feel like I didn't really there was not a real conclusion on a couple things that I thought was weird. It didn't tie up all the storylines, I felt like, but a couple of the ones that I really liked, you did get a semblance of like an ending or a conclusion. And there is an epilogue that does go over some of the storylines, but not all of them. So I ended up giving it a 3. I don't know if I will go back to John Marr's or not. I know this wasn't one of his well-known. I had literally just picked it up when I was going on vacation in February and thought it was ironic that it was called The Vacation, and I've been wanting to try another John Marr's. I know there are ones that people really say are great by him, so depending, I might try another one if it's one of those. I did get one off of my TBR, even if it was kind of just a ho-hum for me this round. Next month's Secret TBR is going to be just choosing a book by its cover, and hopefully it goes well. I don't know, we'll see. But keep your eyes out for that one in September. Thanks for watching as we made this elaborate secret vlog for each other, choosing something from our TBRs. And until next time.